Good morning. Boy, what a freaking beautiful day here. Started out 60 degrees. I love it. It's going to be 83. Okay, the weather's finally changing a little bit. I hope things are good for all of you. Boy, these comments lately, all of them, right from the first one, very first comment. I ought to bookmark that and throw that up at some point. Uh, I just love you guys. You're just so wonderful to me. You mean a lot. Uh, I've said this before. When I'm reading your comments, it's like I'm sitting right there talking with you. Okay, you guys have mentioned that's the way it is with you. That's the same way with me. If I'm slow on comments or don't answer them, I'm so sorry. But it's either do that or build saws, and I'd rather build the saws at this point. But I love talking to you. This is my moment right now. I get to talk to every one of you. Jonathan Huggins, buddy, here's your saw. I did give it a test warm up. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to screw me up on a video. You know how things like that happen. And one thing another. This is a little hotter than I wanted. I'm going to tell you right honest. I don't like it. Once in a while, using the same numbers, you get one that just flies. And I don't like it. I build logging saws, not hot saws. Okay, Jonathan, sorry, man. You got a hot saw. Be damn careful with this one, okay? I know you're a pro, but just be careful. I'm gonna fire this if it'll let me. It's got a gob of compression. I'm gonna try to fire it without the decompressor. I'm not wicking this up on this camera. I'll tell you that right now. So don't think I'm gonna. It when they're juicy, you can with no bar on, you can break the key in the flywheel just by pulling that trigger. And I'm not doing that. I've had it happen. I don't like it. It's embarrassing. If it happens, I'll show you anyway. But we don't do that. But let me get myself situated here. Get my switch on. Oh, God Lord, come on. You got a muffler mod. I did it for you, buddy. That saw ain't no joke. I don't like building that hot. Tell you why I left the cover off. I use the X-Torque carburetor on these because you can. I won't do it if you guys ain't real good at adjusting carburetors because they're a little fussy. I'll tell you why I do use them if it was an X-Torque side. Well, sometimes for loggers I'll put one on. They're a much bigger carburetor than a stock carburetor. Inside, they're bigger. They flow more air, okay? But they're finicky. But on your upper end RPMs in the cut, they're unstoppable. They pull like crazy. But once in a while, what'll happen is you mess around, goose your trigger kind of funny or something. It'll kind of stutter and want to quit. That's normal with that. If you don't like that, we use the OEM carburetor. I already talked to Jonathan Huggins. He knows the deal. He's going to attack it when he gets it there. I told him what to set it at. But if you're familiar with them, when you see that top line, that's a big carburetor, okay? Yeah, I know. I get them on them intakes for these. Ain't that something? Mm-hmm. It's more than I wanted it to be. It's just going to have to be what it is. It'll live. It'll be fine. I told him keep his RPMs down good. You don't have to push RPMs with a saw. That's why you build a big bore. So you're not killing a darn thing, you know. Okay, on these X-Torque carburetors, I want to show you a little something. If you'll see right there, there is a little spacer that keeps you from adjusting them. It's a little ring. You take something just like this, you push that ring in. See that goes in? and then it pops back out, you can turn that screw. They got them so that you can't richen them up. They're wanting to keep them where they meet EPA standards. So they lean these damn things right out, and they put a heavy-ass piston in them. Sorry for my French, but that's what it is. And it's hard on the bottom end. I don't like them. I love the saw. I just don't run X-Torques. This was an X-Torque. It ain't no more. Ain't nothing about it. Okay? If you push that all the way in on an X-Torque carburetor, you can take that screw all the way out and pop that lock off. Do that to save your X-Torque. Okay? Because you got range of adjustment then just like a normal saw. But I wanted you to know that, you know. See, that's pretty big, you know. That really is. That's the choke side. You can look right straight through them. That's really got a lot of air moving, buddy. I mean, it really does. Our standard isn't to build hot saws. It's not what I'm trying to do. Once in a while, I get a little carried away. I'm just like anybody else, you know. I sit here having fun. I get too much fun. Next thing you know, bam, bam, you know. I'm kind of excited about this deal with Dominant, and I'll tell you why. Their ceramic bearings are good. I've used ceramic bearings in the past. We've talked about all that. I'm kind of waiting for the first guy to step up with a 372 to get the Dominant piston and the ceramic bearings. I'm waiting for that. It's going to be a good build. It'll be a reliable saw. They run strong. They're really good. Dominant sending the parts for that buck and stock saw. They'll be here Monday, so we're going to start on that sometime later in the week. And it's going to be a good build. Whoever's getting that saw is going to be a lucky man. I mean, you're getting that in a drawing or a raffle. I don't know how they're doing it, what it is, but somebody's going to get a lot of saw. And I'm not going to, that's going to be no holds barred. I'll do what I do to all logging saws. So if one of you is an amateur and ain't used to a hot saw, logging saw, be careful. But you'll get it. It'll be yours. And that's really cool. Okay, I just getting parts here coming in the mail for this 365 special. I'll be starting on that here, Mr. Worley, Monday morning. I should have that done by Wednesday. Do some test cuts. I'm going to run the saw over the weekend. We will get video. What our deal was going to be, and it changed just because that always does, I want to run one of these big bore saws against the Dominant piston saw. A lot of you think the Dominant's going to win, and you might be right. But if it was against this one, it wouldn't. I'll tell you that right now. It would not do it. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I guess if you do repetitive motion enough, you get good at that one thing, don't you? And, geez, maybe I'm going to get good at this someday. What do you think? I'm going to get this done. We're building a lot of both. The Dominant piston saws, and the big bore. We will definitely get this in the very near future. But the job that I wanted to use this on and where we wanted to do it, with the weather that's the way it's been and the type of job it is, I'm not going to get there. I'm not holding this saw for another week or two on this man. He needs it. I need the room. Did you ever think you'd get into a place where when you started doing something, you had lots and lots of room and lots of everything, and all of a sudden you had to ship a saw just because you didn't have room for this tiny little thing right here? Yeah, it's about where I'm at. I got to take the locks off this for you, buddy. It's done. Just needs a bar and chain, runner, and away we go. You know, there's an awful lot I want to tell you guys. There's no way to get it in. We got 2 new subscribers. I think they came from Buckin's channel, but I've seen them in comments and one thing or the other. Snowman, buddy, thanks for showing up. Bill Block, wonderful to have you here. All of you are so good. That Bill Block and Snowman, they're cut from the same cloth. They really are. They're good people, loyal. The thing is, they fit in with every one of you guys because that's what you are, the same. I just wanted them two to be recognized that we seen them, you know, and that's important to me. I've still got to get to my 100cc. I mean, they figure out 99cc, but the 100cc class 66 mag. The blue one there, we're doing the blue top and the bike logo stuff. I hope I can get that done before buck and stock. I'm getting where that I'm going to have limited numbers of saws I take from here till buck and stock. I've got a lot of parts right now in stock for the 372s. From here on out till after buck and stock, if you got a 372 you think's pretty darn decent and you want something done with it, send me an email at ironhorsechainsaw.com and we'll see if we can't get it done for you. But I only want another 2 or 3 at the most, unless you don't mind waiting for it to be done. I need 2 weeks to myself for personal projects for buck and stock, okay? That's just the way it is. I know you understand that. It doesn't mean we're done building, and what that means is we're getting set up in that time period also where we get this darn map up and get this room where that I can function a little better and get my new benches in and stuff. I got to do it. I've been putting it off. I've been saying it and not doing it. Been right here, Bryce. Just right here. That map's going over there. My benches are going over there. Of course, that's right where the 370 is at a hot rod, and I still ain't finished up and got riding this year, but it is what it is. And I got saws all over the place. Some of them I own, some of them I don't. All saws go in bins. They're labeled. No parts get mixed up. I know where everything is. You know, I use little buckets and bags and one thing and the other for screws. So it ends up being seamless. Nothing worse than trying to find one little screw that you don't know where it went, so you rob it from the next one. Well, then you get to that one, you rob it from the next one. You can't do that when it's somebody else's saw. Your own saw, hey, what the hell? When it's somebody else's saws, people are sharp. They'll notice, like, wait a minute. I didn't have a screw there in that position to look like that. I would notice it. I won't do that. Just know that for sure, okay? I've been playing with a project that I can't get done till this winter. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I shouldn't even say this yet, but I don't know if it's gonna work. It looks like it might. I'm trying to put a full reed cage in a 372, okay? Just like dirt bikes have, just like motocross. I'm gonna do it the same way. In relationship to the 70cc, I'm going to use the same size reeds. I know what that's going to do. You do too. Any of you that's had freaking reeds in your dirt bike, and I know a lot of you have, when that thing comes up on the pipe and hits, they hit hard, don't they? Imagine just about before that speed where it needs to be in the cut, that you come down into that log and you crank that trigger and that thing hits just about the time you start cutting. You know what that's going to feel like. That's a long, winding road to do this right, okay? I'm not going to do it unless it's all the way done right. So there's something I'm working on. The Mac program. I'm trying to get the pistons made for these Macs. Send for the 1010s first. Send the cylinders out, get them bored, replated to that piston size. We can get the bearings and one thing or the other pretty good still, but I hate to tell you guys, the Macs have been run long enough. That's the problem, is they didn't quit running, and that the cylinders are getting pretty trashy, and the pistons have just about dried up. And when you find one, it's money. It really is. And I want a little lighter piston also. That's another thing. They were kind of heavy for their size. I'd like to increase the bore diameter a little, because they weren't very big. There's room there. Well, that's all I'm going to discuss. Just know I'm on to something there. I'm not going to let this drop. I see in my emails in the last 30 days, there's been 52 of you asking if I do your Mac 1010. Hang on. It's a matter of time. That's it. I'm not taking any more 1010, any more Macs, period, until I get this done. Just know that. It's going to be to the benefit of you guys and an awesome saw. Once we get the 1010s figured out, we're going to go to like the 700 or 800 or something like that. We're going to try to find what the most people have. If you haven't left where you're from and you want to be on the map in the comments, please do that. We're still gathering them. We're making your little name tags, and I'm writing on them right where they're from so that I can search through this little box and start pinning them up. I promise you we're going to get a map, but I got to get some saws done first. Okay, thank you so much. All of you that's going to Buck and Stock, you walk up and you shake my hand. I love talking to you guys. I want to see faces, and I'm getting to know you in the comments, and I don't mind a lengthy comment. That don't bother me one darn bit, as I read them. Okay? Out, people. Have a really great weekend.